Yeah, I was doing like this. I guess when I hit it, I hit my phone.
No big deal. You just gotta splice them together. It takes 2 seconds because I do it in YouTube. It's easy to do. So anyway, so he had the boll weevil, bug that eats cotton, and now he needs to get rid of all the cotton. So instead of selling to the American government, because he knows that there's bugs infested in it, and he'll get his ass chewed out, he sells it to the British. So, yeah. So the British ship rolls up where Pineapple Park is now, and he's watching from the second-story building. Now, some people say it's a third-story building. I've asked him directly. I usually get the number 2 or 2nd, and it's happened on more than one occasion. So the cotton was unloaded from these back garages. That's why I stock is here, so you can kind of get the gist. Like, those are garages now for the condos that are there, but back then, this was the warehouse. So they unload all the cotton, and they take it out to the ship. Somebody gets too close to it with a pipe, and the whole fucking ship goes up in flames. So he's watching all of this. So now he's in debt because he wasn't getting all his money back to pay off all his debt. But his dad's legacy just went up in flames. He's already depressed. So what's he do? He climbs up. He piles up all the furniture, puts a captain's chair on top, climbs to the top, swings a noose, and hangs himself. So that's why I had the word hung coming out of Philadelphia Alley. So I kind of find that somewhat relevant because we're on our way there. I do this every night. They know I'm coming. Now, 7 o'clock hour, maybe not so much. But at the same time, it was a newspaper kid trying to sell his newspapers on the corner the next morning that found it. So he hung there a whole day. Yeah, and apparently a crow got to him the whole night. So they say you could see the shadow of a swinging corpse swinging in that window. Yeah, now, again, condos in the back. They're turning it into a wedding reception venue in the front, which means they're doing construction, which stirs shit up. Yeah. So I've had full conversations up there with the spirit boxes, with somebody on the other side. I mean, just craziness. I never know what I'm going to get. Sometimes I get Zoe, sometimes I get George, sometimes I get absolutely nothing. It's just the weirdest place. It's either super active or it's not. Now, it is a Saturday, so I'm going to be reasonable and say we're probably not going to get much if we get anything at all because it's so busy. They don't like when it's busy. Tuesday through Thursday, it's good to go. Yeah. Don't know why. Just one of those places. I did get the word month. I don't know why. If I need to know if it's the same month, maybe we're in the same month that he hung himself or something along those lines, I'd have to look it up. Unless you got something. You look like you're about to tell me something.
Well, it's not only my birthday this weekend, it was my mom's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. But she died. She passed away we're almost to a month maybe.
Have any of these other words made sense to you?
Shouted.
Okay, why?
I found out that her and my sister got into an argument along with my stepdad.
Okay, so...
The same night that
does the name Dawn mean anything to you? Okay. I saw another name in here too. I know you've been watching this list, and you're going to get the whole list. I don't just give you what I think makes sense. You're going to get the whole thing. Because you'd be surprised how many people email me or text me a few days later and say, it said this, I didn't even put that together. You know, it's kind of like, that relates back to my uncle, or whatever the case may be. But what we will do here, I was going to tell you one of the stories that they're going to tell you on your next tour, because I'm sure you're going to hit St. Philip Cemetery. There's a sign in the front that says there's no ghost here at St. Philip's, but the Holy Ghost. There's a reason for that. Susan Howard Hardy died 10 days after her stillborn child in 1888. In 1988, exactly 100 years later, a photographer comes to town. He's pointing his camera lens through all of our beautiful cemeteries, capturing pictures, and he gets a full apparition of a woman.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
Where's that bakery? I think it's called Kaminsky's, where they have the really good chocolate cake.
Oh, you're actually going to go down 1 block and make a left. It'll be on your right-hand side. It's about 1 block up.
We'll be all right there.
Yeah. Like, this is the thing. Do what? See?
1988 photographer. Sorry, there's scripts in my head, I promise. But anyway, they said that anybody that holds the picture starts to feel a little ill will, especially women or women that are pregnant are not going to have a good pregnancy because there's a baby basket of an apparition as well. So she's there with a shawl and a baby basket next to her. And Kodak, because you got to remember, it was 1988. We didn't have Photoshop and all that other shit. He couldn't debunk it himself, so he sends it off to Kodak. Kodak could not debunk the picture. I don't show it on my tours if I take people up that way, just because it is said that anybody that holds it is not going to feel well, as far as females go. Now, I'm not cursing my own tours. You can imagine I'm a very superstitious person.
Yeah.
But Susan Howard Hardy, if you want to look it up for yourself and look it up on the computer, you can find it very easy. Just type in Susan Howard Hardy, just like it sounds, and you'll find it. But we're going to cross twice, and we're going to check out. Go ahead and listen to your spirit box along the way. But once we get to the front, I didn't bring my thermometer to show you. But in the front, I normally run a test. So you guys see the peak at the very back of the building?
Yeah.
There's a peak in the front, just the same way, but it has two different kinds of stones on it. There's like a cement stone, and then right below it, there's another cement stone that makes an arch. For some odd reason, there's a 20 to 30 degree difference between the stones. Nobody can tell me why. I tested it on several buildings around that corner. I'm not supposed to because it's businesses and residential, but we can't figure out why there's a 30 degree difference other than the building is haunted as shit.
Pile.
He piled up the furniture. That's about putting the clues together. Now I'm going to listen to the audio pretty close here too to make sure there's nothing else coming through.
Yeah.
So I am kind of excited about pile coming up, but I also have the word hung. And if you like ghosty shit for your master, if you guys are stuck around them up there, my mother-in-law has her own website now. I started for $5 for cool Halloween shit.
Sort of your alley, huh?
What's that?
Halloween ones.
Well, she's got all kinds. I mean, she's...
No, what I'm saying, he can probably scare the shit out of his coworkers. You hot, honey.
I think I scared them already.
Exactly. Where the facts right before it. So I heard not exactly. The facts came up a few seconds ago.
With mom.
I have no idea.
Supposedly, was for hearing
Also, can you come back for a drink or two? Or you want to go to that?
So this is where the building was. Obviously, it's still there. If you would have been on the second floor, I usually ask if you can get me a nice slow sweep with the Predator. Interesting. Just of the second story windows. I didn't bring that infrared thermometer with me. The gadgets. So you can see what I mean by the two different stones at the very top. You can usually see, like you can measure the difference. And we might be able to catch it with we usually verify it with that. So if you put those crosshairs at the very tip, you can tell me what the temperature is that you have up there.
It's 84, about 84.
Okay, you see the archway just below it, about 5 feet.
87.
Okay, so we don't have much of a difference. I expect a 5 to 8 degree difference. Anything more than 15, I get a little excited.
You got about 88 right here.
Do you get anything on your spirit box? I just got average October. Like they came up very quickly. That doesn't usually happen. See how close they are? Permanent. Interesting. Did you hear anything else on yours?
There's nothing.
There's nothing. That's what he said? She. Oh. That's interesting. So again, Transformers, Bumblebee. It's going to find whatever voice it is. It's not going to be necessarily a man's voice. Could be just whatever was coming up that he was like, oh, it's going to say it for me. And it was a female. So that's what I also told people. They're like, oh, it was a female. It doesn't matter. It's just the voice. I know the story that's here. Could have been Zoe telling us. Could have been Zoe getting pissed off that, there's nothing here tonight. But your EMF is also going to go crazy because we're right on the street where we got parking meters, the crosswalks. That's usually irrelevant up here. I tried to pick up the ones that are going to record the data for you guys to look at later. But I have all of the stories you guys told me on audio because I started it before I crossed the street. So I'm going to be able to dive into those. And if you want to tell me more, if you actually capture more, you'll have my text and email. So by all means, send it to me, and I'll tell you if I see something relevant or if it's bullshit or if it might be hordes.
It said yes.
You guessed?
Yes.
Oh, that's weird because I don't normally get yes or no's.
Well,
Let's go ahead and stop that. Where's your next